In this video, I will be making Ned Flanders hot chocolate in blender.
Now, how about I fix you some cocoa?
No way. Cocoa's for wusses.
Well, sir, if you change your mind, it's on the windowsill.
I hope everything is easy to follow so you can make it too. I started off with deleting the camera and the light and scaling the default cube down. While in edit mode, select the top face and inset it. With the same face, extrude down. Selecting all the vertices at the bottom, scale inward and subdivide. Add a loop cut towards the top of the mug and towards the bottom of the mug. Inset the bottom face along with the inside of the mug. In the modifier, add more subdivision and shade smooth. Add a torus. This will be used as our handle. Scale it down to match the mug. I like to use the move gizmo to help move objects along the axis. When you're happy with the size, go back into edit mode and delete half of the vertices. Move the handle close to the mug again and shade smooth. Selecting the edge, you can move the exposed area back into the mug. Move the mug to the side and add a circle. Scale the circle down and click F to fill. In edit mode, select the circle and extrude it. Extrude the face again and scale it out. While selecting that face, inset it once and then twice. With the second inset, slide it down to match the bottom of the plate. Then subdivide it. I added another inset on the center and added a loop cut to make a sharper line for the base. Select the handle and then the mug, then parent them together. The handle will now always be on the mug. Selecting the edge and holding Alt at the same time will allow you to select all sides. Duplicate the edges and use P to separate the object. In edit mode, select all and click F to fill in the circle. Slide the circle down. This is our hot chocolate. You won't really be able to see the hot chocolate, but I like the idea anyway. For the whipped cream, add a spheric spiral. If you don't yet, you can find spirals and add-ons located in Preferences. You will find Add Curve Extra Objects. I scaled the spiral down to the size of the mug. Since this is a curve, you can go into the curve data and add depth. Once I was happy with the whipped cream, I subdivided it. For the wafer cookie, I started with the plane that I made into a long rectangle. In edit mode, I extruded the plane. I added 30 loop cuts on the width of the plane and then 9 on the height. Selecting all of the top faces, I inset them using scale to adjust the size. Then I extruded the faces towards the inside of the plane. Add another plane and adjust it to the cookie. This will be our icing. Extrude the face to add some thickness and slide it to be directly under the top. Duplicate the cookie and icing. Repeat this process until you're happy with it. Flip the bottom cookie 180 degrees on the axis so you can see the pattern. Select all layers with the top cookie last so you can parent them. Scale the cookie to size and add it to your hot chocolate. For the marshmallow, add a cube and subdivide it. Add loop cuts to the top and to the bottom. Shade smooth and add your marshmallow to the cookie. I didn't want to use the spiral again, so I added a cube to match the cookie shape. Once I was happy with the placement, I subdivided the cube. I added a subdivide on the cube again to add more faces. Then I was able to pull vertices around with proportional editing. Then I used Shade Smooth when I was happy with the result. For our sprinkles, add a cube, scale it down, and slide it to the side. Make your sprinkle be quite tall and skinny, and then subdivide. Use Shade Smooth and duplicate your sprinkle to have a smaller version. You will need to convert the whipped cream to a mesh. Subdivide it again to make it smooth. With the whipped cream selected, go into the particle systems and add a new particle. Select Hair. Go into Render and make Render as an object. With the eyedropper tool, I selected the bigger sprinkle. Follow my settings or have fun with them. Make sure you have advanced settings on so you can use rotation. Most of the time, I will play around with the particles till I get the result I'm looking for. I will be adding the smaller sprinkles later. Making our final scene, add a plane and scale it. Select 3 edges on the plane and extrude them up. Select the edges again and use the bevel tool. You can scroll your mouse wheel to add more cuts. Then Shade Smooth. I added a camera that I angled to face the drink. Then I added an area light that will be above. You can click and drag an extra panel once you see the plus sign. I use this to help see what will be in the final render. Click the shading editor. We will now be adding materials to our objects. I started off with the mug. Ned Flanders' mug is a light pink. Then I toned down the roughness so it looked more like ceramic. I added the same material to the plate, along with the handle. Don't forget to add a material to your sprinkles. I personally didn't think that there was enough variation in my sprinkles, so I added another particle system and used a smaller sprinkle. This whole time I've been saying sprinkles, but it's actually grated chocolate. Just wanted to correct myself. When adding color to multiple cookies, hold Shift while selecting them so you can copy all materials to selected. We are going to add a torched effect to the marshmallow using the nodes. Add a gradient texture and color ramp. Connect them like I show on screen. Add the colors to the color ramp and make the gradient option into easing. To change the direction of the gradient, add mapping and texture coordinate. Play around with the axis settings, but try to get the torch look to be on top of the marshmallow. Don't forget to add a material to your background. Back into the layout editor, change the left side view into the active camera. Make the camera into an orthographic and scale it to size. On the left side, change the view to render. Here we will be able to see exactly what will be in the render. I'm only adding area lights to the scene. Be creative with them. A scene can have a very different vibe depending on how you make your lights. I changed my render settings to be cycles and my device into GPU. I chose denoise and I made my render samples to 1000. In render settings, I changed the view transport to filmic and looked to medium-high contrast. Now you can render it. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials. See you again soon!